Hello again. Welcome to another episode of
Guys.
Three Things with Tanya and Troy.
That's
Oh,
Troy.
I'm Troy. We're
Oh, I'm Tanya, since he didn't want to
we're
put me
the
out.
513 pickers, but we're not set on that name, so it still might change. So it's like up in the air. So give us some suggestions. But as you're giving us suggestions, make sure you guys hit like and subscribe. So we got a lot of subscribers from our first video last week, which is awesome. Great likes. Make sure you guys comment on the video. We love to hear from people about the items that we picked out, but also just general comments are fine as well.
General comments, what you like to look, what you're looking for. What do you collect? Just anything. Or you may ask us if there's something that you want to see that you think we might have some insight on. We'd love to get suggestions too.
Yep. And just to remind everybody, you can go back and watch our first episode, but we talk about three things that we bought and then three things that we sold.
3 on 3.
And so that's our three things.
Awesome.
So I'm going to start out again.
Surprise, surprise. That never happened.
Yes. Well, it's because I really wanted to give you the assist on a few things because you assisted me on picking up some items from Facebook Marketplace again, which happens from time to time.
Go for it.
But this is my first buy. This was my first, and it's actually 4 things. But
you're breaking the rules, but go ahead.
Yeah, 4 things in one because it was one buy because it was, again, a bulk buy. But I was able to get these books, Stephen King books, from Facebook Marketplace pickup. And again, we talk about places that we shop is estate sales, online estate sales, Facebook Marketplace,
sometimes people
thrift
just reach
stores,
out to
garage
us.
sales, pretty much you name it. But this one came from a Facebook Marketplace, and you went and picked them up for me in the middle of the day. So we got first editions Carrie, Firestarter, Cujo, and The Dead Zone.
Ooh,
all
Stephen
King.
Stuff.
These are all book club editions. So we kind of talked about book club editions last week a little bit. They're not quite as desirable as the first pressing or the first first edition, first printings, but these are still really cool books. They're all.
Why is that, the book club? Because I feel like that's kind of important. That's something that came around in my lifetime where, with Oprah and some other things, they started doing book clubs. But I think these are before that. But what makes book club ones not as desirable?
I don't know.
Right, Raggy. Okay.
So when you go online, they're not as valuable. No, but seriously, though, the book club editions just aren't as desirable in most, probably. Those first printings, first printings of the first editions, those are the most desirable.
Right.
Now, these are all first editions, book club editions, but they are not first printings.
I remember this movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they're all cool books, and they're all in fairly good condition.
Oh, gosh.
Cujo was one that I didn't have in my personal collection that is going to be read before I ship it off to whoever buys it. But some really cool books.
That is very cool.
Thanks again for the assist on that.
Of course. I met a cool reseller who sold a lot of books, but the horror Stephen King genre was not his thing. Funny enough, I have seen him at every place I've thrifted in the last week or two. It's been kind of interesting. Or a stalker, I'm not sure.
Yeah, and that's funny because that is kind of my bread and butter for books is Stephen King books. So if you go on my eBay listings, which I'll put in the show notes, there's a lot. I think I have probably like at least 50 Stephen King books right now. A lot of first editions, a lot of really great titles.
But you're an avid reader, and you're kind of a horror person, so it's sort of
a little bit.
You're a thrifter, so you mix those three together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So the second thing is going to be what I sold, and this is another assist because this item came home with Mrs. Myers, and she just said, "Here you go. I think this is something that's really cool." I was like, I don't know anything about this, and I sell a lot of clothes, so I would say over 50% of my listings are clothes. This was sold on Poshmark.
Okay.
So I sell most of my clothes on Poshmark, even though I sell like vintage stuff. So it's the Smith SMYTHE. Was a women's blazer that you brought home.
Yes.
Black gray. It was a wool blend.
Yes.
I'll put it down here or up here. I gave us more space here, so I'll put it up here. And I was shocked about how much these things go for. It's not vintage, but it was cool.
It was a really cool find. I was going through, I don't tend to know everything about garments, I know when something is just a little better made than the rest, especially when they're all lined up together as you're doing I call it the, and it was the feel of the garment, the quality of the shoulder pads. Older vintage garments, I've noticed the shoulder pads are really soft and they're smushy and they're not really sewn in well. So I said, well, this is lovely. I mean, really nice. And rarely do I take out my phone and check, but I did.
Yeah.
And I went.
And you're like, yeah, this is something special.
Okay, this is something special.
Especially, it was regular Goodwill prices, or I think maybe it was St. Vincent de Paul.
St. Vincent de Paul was a little less.
It was a little bit less, so it wasn't like these. We didn't have to pay up for it.
Yeah.
So again, we don't really talk about what we pay for things,
but this was
just normal,
reasonable,
thrift prices, and you see what it sold for. Pretty amazing. Thank you.
It's a very
thank you for finding that.
Thank God it didn't fit me, because I would have just snuck it into my room and never showed it to you.
Exactly. All right, that's my first. That's
all your stuff.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna go over. I sell all kinds of vintage things. I really do concentrate on home decor, but my love are smalls. I just love them. I've always loved them when I was little. I just think small decor brings a lot to any area in your home. It's just an easy fit if you don't know how to commit to something. You don't want to do big overhaul. With that said, I love little mirrors. I love them so much. So I sold this Homco mirror. It's this styrene plastic. You've seen those butterflies, vases, a whole bunch of other things that kind of go. This is the bamboo pattern in brown. So I just want to talk about Homco really quickly. Homco was like Avon, but for home decor.
Oh.
So stay-at-home moms and other people, you could have people over. There was a new catalog that came out, and everything was made out of this. I hate to just say plastic, but it's like a heavy-duty mold-injected plastic. The shapes were great. You could paint these, and they did encourage you to paint them. Paint them to change your decor, change your style. If you weren't into brown anymore, make it pink. Maybe you're going to put it in the baby's room. But these are where we get all those butterflies that were hanging on the wall. They would have other things you could build onto the set, mirrors, candle holders, those candle holders that are like this, and then there's a candle in the end. We'll attach some pictures so you know what I'm talking about. But I did not know it was a home, one of the MLMs, literally one of the older ones, and it was Home Decor Company, and they call it Homco.
Mm.
So I love finding anything Homco. I think these are perfect for small spaces. Gallery walls. You guys have started those gallery walls. You need this one little thing to fit in there. And these kind of mirrors, they make smaller ones, bigger ones. There's 3-packs. It's just really cool. And I'm kind of sad that the Homco doesn't exist anymore. It seems like it was a really cool business model.
Whenever you bring those to like the vintage shows that we do, City Flea, things like that, they always go.
They're gone.
Yeah,
they're
they
gone.
Just go.
It doesn't matter what color I buy, or if people have already painted them, they just sell.
I think it's like one of those no-brainers when you
absolutely I hunt them down. The other thing I wanted to show, this is a brass figure from India. I just love, I'm going to call them Indian handicrafts. I'm not really sure what the appropriate term is, but even to the smallest thing, they put so much detail and so much time into everything that they do. And you know what? This is kind of the shield with the lady with a shield is what I was calling her. I just love small statues. I'm not sure what happened to make statues kind of not be as popular in the home.
Yeah.
But in a bookcase, in an accent, in a bathroom, like you can decorate anywhere, really.
Nice.
I mean,
and you sold that.
I sold. Yep. Yes. Sold.
So you sold that on your Instagram page.
Instagram. Sorry, you're right. Remembering all these things. You sold this on Instagram.
Very nice.
Another thing is that I found a bag full of glass grapes. Smaller ones, not the bigger ones. I'm always on the hunt. This was my first bunch. I think I sold like 3 different bunches of these.
Those are nice.
And they've got a little bit of the luster on there. Luster is adding just that silver or gold highlight. And they're fully glass. And they're shaped as 3 different sizes in one little set. I love decorative glass grapes. Glass grapes. There's also onyx grapes, which are like the hard stone. Then there's also the glass. There's also, I mean, that plastic is still out there for those who love them. But my passion and one of my, what do you call these? Last no. When you really want to find something, it's like my dream find.
Yes,
Glass
your grail.
grapes.
That's your grail.
These are my grail. That's the word
That's
I was looking for. But I mean, my grail would really be the glass ones, the alabaster. Actually, glass or the alabaster. I have found some lucite, but I need glass and I need alabaster now. Those are those hard stones. So this is pretty cool. So my friend has gotten these. Everybody's my friend that's on Instagram, especially when you buy.
Make sure you follow Tanya on Instagram at Hip and Thrifty. I'll put the links down in the show notes.
I'm excited to see what she's going to do with them. But I mean, glass grapes are just iconic for that mid-century look in your home. It just is.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit more about this
lady.
Thing. So how much is something like that worth? How much did you sell it for?
Oh, this was like 18. I sold
18?
It for like so it's been 18 and 20. This is all brass, and it's a lot of the intricate work that has gone into it. I mean, she's decorated from her toes to her hair to, I mean, the shield is decorated. This is brass.
Nice.
So it's not, some junky metal thing. And I think these are all things that I like to call souvenir art. You went to India, you went to Jamaica, you've gone to all these different, you go into these souvenir markets and you buy these things. So these things were always in my home growing up. I had no value to them. I thought they were just dust catchers. But growing up, I've really kind of gone, these things are really works of art from artisans.
That's awesome.
These people who do support their family from making these little souvenir things.
Yeah, it's well made.
I mean, it's really well made. There's so much beauty and art to it.
Great for decor.
Absolutely.
All right. My turn again.
Woohoo!
All right, so I'm going to talk about something that I bought. This came from an estate sale that we went to. Actually, not last week, but the week before. But I just started going through the inventory. So this is a 1970s Lee. Lee denim jackets are some. You kind of really don't think about them these days, but they're coming back into kind of fashion. But
they are.
These ones with the made in the USA with the patent number 153438.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And it's sanforized. So when you see that on the label, that's going to make it a little bit more.
What does that mean, sanforized? I don't know what that means.
I'll put the definition of
it. Put the definition on it because I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
But one of the things that is unique about this jacket is it's not just a plain old jacket. You can see the custom embroidery, the hand embroidery that somebody did on this jacket in the probably early 1970s. And you can see the back part there.
They did the whole border of the back panel.
Absolutely.
With these flowers. There's also a little bit of beadwork in between.
There's beadwork on the pockets. I'll put some bigger pictures up there as well.
There's a little embroidery on the collar.
Yeah, and it's got some nice cool wear, some distress to it. But
so this is 70s.
Yeah, this is from the 70s. So some of these jackets made in the USA go into the 1980s as well. But whenever you see that sanforized, sanforized with that patent number made in the USA, this jacket's already going to start out at a certain value,
right?
With all this kind of custom stuff and this kind of almost like hippie flowers on it.
Well, they are hippie flowers of the 70s.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't say
absolutely. Kind of puts it at just another level of coolness.
It's kind of funny because when you brought it in, you're like, it's 70s. I was like, is it? Because in my mind, I'm thinking about the 80s with all these details. But honestly, all those details in the 80s would have been rhinestones.
Yeah.
Because we all had our bedazzler out. We were bedazzling things.
Yep.
But this is I think it's just a cool find. And then again, it's one of these vintages forever, as I like to call it, because just as easily anybody would wear this now. I mean, and still, it's amazing.
This is a woman's jacket,
it's amazing. But you know that doesn't mean anything anymore.
No pockets on it except for the two pockets up here. So I don't know, definitely
and
a cool
two
jacket.
pockets are riveted, which is really cool.
That's something that they did as well.
But
I'll put a closer picture on it.
This is actually somebody added those in.
Oh yeah,
themselves. Okay, I wouldn't know how to do that.
So the customization of this jacket.
Yeah.
I'll put some bigger pictures of the details, but the customization of this jacket
plus
the age and everything else and the Lee you made in the USA puts it at kind of a different price range. So I kind of put it up a little bit higher than what.
Yeah, but there's a lot of work.
I'm also going to take this to the vintage show coming up at Norwood Factory 52
52.
with City Flea in a
Yeah,
couple of weeks.
that's
I
in
think it's
here. That's in
April
Cincinnati.
26th. And
Yeah.
I'll put the link to their site somewhere in the
Yeah.
show
That's
notes
gonna be
too. Yep.
awesome.
But it's a cool jacket.
Yeah.
And then one of the things that I sold, and I wanted to talk to you about this because
Oh no. What's gonna happen?
I made a mistake. So when I sold this
Well, why are you
item,
looking at me?
I know.
Don't. Am I the mistake?
Yeah.
Oh, darn.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
So when I sold this item, I'll put it somewhere there. You're going to notice that I put in the description coyote puffer jacket and with hood. And when the person got it, they said, "Where's the coyote hood at?" And I'm like, I copied and pasted.
Copy and paste. I've done
copied
that.
and pasted from
I've done that so many times.
another listing.
Yeah.
And I screwed up.
Yeah.
So, they contacted me and I'm like, yeah, that's completely my bad. I copied and pasted. I didn't really read it over as thoroughly.
Yes, when you find that, so what he's talking about is like a lot of times we'll go into like a sold comp or something like that, and I hate typing personally. So if somebody already has the same thing, I'll be like, copy, paste description. I too sometimes at 2 a.m. when I'm doing this do not read it all and go, woohoo, and just put it in there. I did that with a planter as well. It was the same exact McCoy planter. It was a smaller size. Yeah. It was a bigger one actually. It was like a 5-inch one. I had a 3-inch for sale.
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
So when I do these things, and
Yes.
these things do happen,
they do.
My policy is always number one, apologize, because there's times,
first and foremost,
even though, all the pictures, none of the pictures that I put up had the coyote hood on there.
Right.
So it was evident that it wasn't in the pictures, but it wasn't in the description. So
sure. You have to
any
be
part
honest.
of my
you have
listing,
to be honest.
Any part of my listing is deceiving or dishonest or misleading or a mistake on my part, I always want to make sure it's good. Now, she did get a really cool jacket. I mean, it's a really cool puffer Woolwich jacket that she got at a pretty good price, to be honest with you.
But there's no hood. That's the only
But the hood with
missing.
the coyote lining with the, what it kind of looks like.
Yeah, we'll put it on the screen so you guys can see that.
Yeah, so I offered her to make it better.
Make it right.
I offered her a $20 discount on it, so I credited her $20, which still left me with just a little bit of money left because I didn't pay that.
You had some more.
I got this half off anyways.
A little skin left in the game.
Exactly. But it's one of those things where I just kind of wanted to always put it out there and just admit to it, put it out there for us that we make mistakes.
We make mistakes, and it's about building relationships as well. And I'm not going to fight with you. It's like, the guy I sent him, he goes, so this is much smaller than what was advertised. As soon as I read it, he was absolutely right. First and foremost, apologized. Gave him a portion back, and we were great. And I still have a really good listing standing on eBay.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's unfortunate, but it happens. But we love to work with people and just keep our customers happy.
Stuff happens.
Yeah, it happens. Just admit to it. Don't get into big arguments with people over it.
So, even though we always say, "Oh, these are all their great listings that we sold," just wanted to put one out there that was a great sale that went wrong
easily
because this guy was wrong. This guy was wrong.
Yeah.
So
what else you got, Grandpa?
That's it. That's it. I'm 2 things down, so it's on you.
On to me. Okay, so we went over my solds. I'm going to go over my finds. One of my passion things is to always look for ashtrays. Ashtrays are amazing. This one is one of those earlier ones because it has it really small in the corner, made in Japan. There's so much work on here. These look amazing. This looks amazing. They always look amazing. I love ashtrays. I love finding them. People are freaked out by ashtrays. So who are those people? People my age. Between that 40 and 50 range. I'm not sure what the counterculture is to it, but it's all about freaking out about having an ashtray in your home. I think because we grew up in the just say no to smoking and all this kind of stuff, and I think was big in the 80s. I think they're always like, what would I do with it? It's an ashtray. Or I get a lot of, does it smell like smoke? Well, no, because there's soap and water. That clears that up. No, I don't know. I'm not making it up. I mean, I've seen people do charcuterie platters in them. I've seen people do sushi in there because the grooves for the cigarettes are perfect for holding chopsticks.
Oh, very good. That's awesome.
I've done several reels on other things you can do with ashtrays. This one personally, I would just have it sitting on my coffee table. It's just beautiful. It's a great color, kind of that Wedgwood blue. It is not Wedgwood, but all the embossed design. And I'm always looking for ashtrays because guess what? People are smoking things these days.
Yeah.
And they need really good, high quality ashtrays.
And where did you find that?
I found that at an estate sale that I went with you to.
With me?
With you. You were looking for records.
Oh.
The whole point of the sale was set up to get, I guess they had a big overstock of records.
Yeah.
So they had a room full of these records, but there was also this other stuff. So, of course, I dove into the other items that were around.
Yes, you were very patient with me, by the way, because it took me hours and hours to go through.
But you know what? If
all
you're
those
there
records.
to look, I re-looked that room. I found lots of good stuff. So my patience did pan out. It paid off. Unfortunately, the first thing I picked up in that room was not priced. It was a great piece of artwork on the wall. I took it off and I asked the people that were running the sale, and they said, "Oh, we have to get the owner." The owner came back and said, "I didn't know that was up here." And I was like, "Oh no, this is already off to a bad start." I didn't let him finish the sentence, and I said, "It sounds like you're going to say 3 figures." He said, "No, try 4." So
yeah,
I can pick up. Needless to say, I do not have a picture of that because I did not take that home with me. So
4 figures, like $10 and 00
no,
cents.
sir. Like 5. I think it was between 5 and 7,000 or something. And I couldn't get my fingerprints off of it.
That's a whole other game that we don't play.
That's a game I'm not into. I don't know where that game exists of. So instead of that, I took this home.
That's really cool.
This is a great piece of crewel work. It's a combination of crewel work and embroidery. And, you know, those of you that know, I'm not sure how you can get, if you can get the shine off of that.
Yep.
I mean, it's amazing. And it's on fabric and it's professionally framed. I looked at him and I said, "Okay, so is this also one of these 4-digit ballparks?" And he said, "No." And we talked about it. I was upfront with him that I was a seller, and he gave me a really good deal on this.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to have this in the show. The colors are amazing. There's a little squirrel. We're going to put an inset of him on there because he's adorable.
Yes.
Beyond the beyond. And professionally framed. And I love a round cutout mat, which is kind of hard to do and more expensive. So I think this is again, if you talk about a stunner for a gallery wall, this is a stunner.
That's awesome.
I love it. And I'm glad I went there with you and was able to look around.
Absolutely. Are you going to finish up the
yours? I am.
Okay,
yes, I am.
And then it's going to be me?
Yes.
Okay.
Then it's going to be you. Okay. This is yet another oversized glass. Okay. I love finding these. Let me see if you can really see that. I love them. I love them. I love them. A bunch of companies made these oversized cocktail glasses. Some people actually use these as whole sets of glasses. I think this is too heavy for me to use as a glass, especially when there's a beverage in there.
I think my doctor said that I should just have 1 glass of wine a night. I could just fill that up.
A couple of beers.
Right.
This is amazing as a vase. This is amazing. Also, bar decor. Like, why not?
Yeah.
Everybody can't remodel their house. So to me, you have some of these older homes have these built-in bars.
Yeah. You can store your stir sticks in there.
I don't know what to do with it. They put the punch bowl that they hate. They put this weird thing. Why not just go ahead and do something like get some decanters out here? These are amazing. Stir sticks, old matches, matchbooks.
Yeah.
I love seeing that. Use this as a vase. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Why be boring? And I don't know if you guys can see it as I'm turning it. It's kind of got this swirl pattern. They call it the optic glass.
Oh, yeah. It's
optic,
really cool.
because as you turn it, you can see that. And that's usually an Empoli from Italy usually has that. But this one I don't believe is Empoli. It's like 8.5 inches.
Let me put it in the sunlight here just a little bit.
And it's like a compote or but it is the optic style. As well as this one is also an optic style because you get that. You see the stripes. And why not decorate with these things? That's one of my other mottos for my page. Rethink about it, redecorate. You don't have to smoke to get an ashtray. You don't have to be a big drinker to have one glass that's really cool that uses a vase. So those are kind of the things that I really like to reiterate in my finds and to help people just have more fun.
Yeah,
with their stuff. For sure.
All right, my turn again?
Yes, you bring us
lovely.
home.
The glass is lovely.
Thank you.
All right, so one of the things before I get to, one of the things I sold was this vintage fedora. And I'm a hat guy.
Ooh.
I love hats.
He loves his hats.
Yes, but this was a Kavanaugh Edge. It was felt fur, really nice, beautiful hat. But I was shocked about number one. I just got it, and it sold so fast.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I should have charged more for it, but
I never think that.
I did make good money on it, so I was like, let me just go ahead and just pass it on to the next person
who will probably just wear it.
Yeah, who will appreciate it, wear it, or somebody who might have like a really high-end hat shop. So sometimes we find ourselves in that position where we can almost like wholesale it to somebody. And
it's a small community, and they, and then that you may become a resource for that person. They may come back to you and say, "Hey, do you have this? Or you are looking for this?" So I mean, it's about building the relationships. And then sometimes when we say, "Oh, it sold really fast. Oh, we should charge more," that doesn't work most of the time. You end up getting stuck with it.
And the reality of clothes resellers, especially in the vintage world, you have to really hold on to things maybe a little bit longer. And if anybody else out there who sells vintage clothing, kind of comment on this point. Sometimes you just have to. It takes a while for it to sell because you have to find the right buyer.
That person.
Absolutely, the right buyers out there for your item. Don't compromise on your prices. I mean, usually I do like to put my prices maybe just a little bit above what market is, and then I'm happy to negotiate just a little bit with you just to, because I understand that there's, great deals. And sometimes I understand that there's, deals that I put together that work for both of us.
Sure.
So I don't mind going down to 10, 15% on an item.
Yeah.
If it gets it into your hands quicker and I can move through some product.
That reminds me, I hate to cut you off, but I read this, so because we're doing the reselling, sometimes I like to join these like reseller forums or pages on Facebook. And sometimes we share the same growing pains, same wins, or great ideas or advice. So long story short, the subject was discounting.
Yes.
And I read one reseller said, "The price is the price. I will never, ever, ever discount anything."
Yeah.
And I thought, first of all, you have to watch the market trends. Something that was popular isn't popular anymore.
Yeah.
You have to read and react to that. Also, if I have a customer that is constantly buying from me on a regular basis and they're going to buy a group of items.
Yeah.
That's
a good thing about your Instagram.
There's got to be some push and pull there through the relationship.
Yeah.
So just saying it's a never, ever, ever. There are some things, we all overpay for something.
Yeah.
We lose our shirt on this one thing. And you're like, you know what? I just can't. I got to be firm on that one. Sure. But this never, I just found that to be an insane concept of never.
So my philosophy is that on my eBay listings, I'll always accept offers.
Sure. So do I.
If you offer me 50% or less of what the value is, then I completely just reject it. But if it's 40% or whatever, I come back with kind of almost my best and final. So usually it's either take that or not, but it gets things kind of flowing.
But on eBay, they have you can do like the minimum. Like if you're charging a certain amount for something, you can set like, I will accept this or more. I don't want to do that. I do that on mine. I put it so then that way people don't, because I get this, I used to try all the time to do make me an offer.
Yeah.
I'm answering, I don't want to insult you. I don't want to insult you. I don't want to make, I'm like, I didn't make this.
But one of the things that I did.
So it's okay to make an offer.
One of the things that I did notice, and I want to get your opinion on it.
Sure.
When you do start to get offers in on an item on eBay, do you notice that sometimes you will either reject an offer or you'll counter offer, and then all of a sudden somebody will come through and like pay full price? So there has to be some sort of weird algorithm for other watchers or people who recently viewed that item that people are starting to. So I think there's an algorithm to that.
But I mean, I wonder if it shows as in someone's cart or something.
Yeah.
Maybe it shows something like that,
but
which gives you the sense of urgency to go, I just got to get it.
There's been times where I got an offer, and before I could even respond, it sells it for full price.
That has never happened to me.
Yeah.
That has never happened to me.
I heard
in the world of decor.
I was watching a TikTok the other day, and somebody else said that happened to them. I'm like, I think there's an algorithm in eBay that will automatically like push your listing to tell people, hey, this is almost gone because somebody else
I
is
would
bidding
love
on
that.
it.
I
Yeah.
would love that, by the way. I would love it. But that's never happened to me.
All right. And so the thing I picked
what
up,
you got?
look at this. So this is Stevie Wonder. This is Songs in the Key of Life. Now, one of the things I've done before is I've bought and sold this album like 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And so whenever I see it and it's at a good price, I'm like, I'm going to pick it up because it's a cool album, number one. It's a great gatefold album. So that gatefold meaning that it pops up.
Mm-hmm.
It pops up. But one of the things to watch out, so if you ever see this album in the wild at a thrift store or whatever, this is where it gets fun. Mm-hmm. So it comes with 2 records automatically. So 1 record, 2 record. Mm-hmm. And this is probably, again, this is one of Stevie Wonder's greatest. It has Sir Duke on this album and a couple other really great, like, iconic Motown hits from Stevie Wonder. So it comes with the 2 albums, and that's usually what you find with these. But what doesn't always come with these is, number one, it doesn't always come with
look at this.
The booklet.
What is in the booklet?
The booklet has all the lyrics to all the songs in it.
It's a song lyric sheet?
Lyric sheet.
Okay.
Number one, if it comes with this is completely ate up. It's
it's raggedy, stained, water damage.
Water damage. This one is in perfect condition.
That's so cool.
And then the other thing to look for, which I didn't even know about until, because I've only bought them and sold them with just the records.
Right.
And I think maybe I had one really crappy booklet one time. But the original also came with a 45. So it came with a 45 of...
What's on the 45?
Literally says a something extra. So a something extra came with this album. So when you find it complete, you find both albums, you find the music booklet, and you find the 45.
So that's like another song or something.
Exactly.
Oh wow.
This is what collectors want when it comes to Stevie Wonder stuff. So I'm gonna put like what I have it listed for, because this is just something, and my listing price is maybe even just a little under, just because there was some water stain just barely, and some record wear, some ring wear around the record.
Not ringworm. Ringwear. No. Ringwear.
Everything else. I mean, sometimes you'll open up these gatefolds and there'll be damage. This is, I would call it a very good plus. The records themselves are near mint, which is awesome. And the booklet is near mint.
Wow.
So I didn't pay up for this at all.
Right.
So this
this was part of the estate sale.
And
for all the records.
I probably went through 2,000 records that day. Tanya was bored out of her mind.
I was not. I found plenty of things.
She found a few things, but going through 2,000 records, I picked 6 records out of those 2,000.
Pick the winners.
But this is, again, something that when you have bought and sold something so many times, I knew when I picked it up that I was going to at least 5x my money. So I knew that
I was familiar with this being a great selling record, but I was not aware that the ultimate pick would come with all of these pieces. So my goodness,
with all these pieces, it'll be easy, like
that's easy.
15x my money for what I bought this for. So again,
and it's
awesome record,
and it's kind of a grail find for LPs, and it's something you can knock off your list.
Wonder grail
I
find.
Found it.
Absolutely,
that's what I like to do.
This is the original too. All the originals, what came with all that stuff.
Awesome.
So. But that's my 3 things. You did your 3 things.
There's my 3 things.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
this is our couch.
This is our couch. We did this in our kitchen this time instead of our living room.
Yeah. So we wanted to mix it up a little bit and show you some other parts. Not really. We just wanted to shoot over here.
If you guys made it all the way through this video, that means you like this video. So make sure you hit like. Make sure you hit subscribe to our channel, because we've been putting out some really cool shorts. We put out like something midweek last week that you can go back and watch, and just some other finds. So there's
more stuff coming as the channel evolves. There'll be more and more content coming.
And
what?
So I ended up like spending way too much money on an estate sale.
Oh yeah.
That Tanya's going to go pick up for me on Tuesday. But there's some really cool vintage items.
There are very cool items in there.
Yeah. So I'm excited to show those off to you, and hopefully, by the time the video comes out next Sunday, I will have not only found them, but I will also have sold them, because several of them to make back the money that I spent on the estate sale. That it happens. It happens. It happens.
Let's not talk about it anymore.
All right. Thank you guys for
All right.
watching.
Thank you so much.
All right,
We'll see you next time.
See you next time for 3
Three
things.
more things.
Three
Woo-hoo.
more things.
Things.
3 more things.
Bye, guys.